Welcome to another lens review, this time for the Panasonic 40mm. It is a wide-angle prime lens, so you can't zoom in or zoom out. There's a fixed focal length of about 40mm, that's equivalent to 28mm full frame, so it's a standard wide angle without getting much into that fisheye perspective, and it is as such quite universal for most applications. The biggest competitor is probably the highly praised Panasonic 20mm Pancake, so we take that as a reference point here. When it comes to pros and cons, this lens is all over the place. So let's go from best to worst. First of all, this lens is tiny in size. It is even smaller than the Panasonic 20mm, and that is excellent. It is arguably the smallest usable micro four thirds lens, and if you have a small camera body like the Panasonic GF3, it can fit into some of your jacket pockets. The second point is that lens is very sharp, but it is not excellent. There may be some softness in the edges when used wide open, but it's still very good and is just slightly inferior to the Panasonic 20. The focus is fast in general, sometimes a bit slower in low light, but is still faster than the Panasonic 20 as a comparison. The lens has a maximum aperture of f2.5, which is okay, but is not great for a prime lens. You can get some low light performance and you can create some bokeh or blurred backgrounds, but it is less than the Panasonic 20 and it is definitely less than a full frame camera with f2.5. Some images here are shot with aperture wide open f2.5, and you can see that you need to get very close to your subject, with the backgrounds being far away if you want to get some bokeh or blurred backgrounds. I did notice some limited optical aberrations like color fringing when used wide open with high contrast, but it is very limited. Most of the time you can shoot directly against the sunlight and you can still get some very usable images like you can see in some of the images that I've made here. Problematic is the barrel distortion of about 1%, so all of your images appear curved toward the edges like a barrel. That is most apparent when you shoot straight lines, as in architecture or cityscape. Now that is a little secret of most modern lenses, that they correct for those things automatically in software, but for some reason that doesn't fully work here, so maybe there's a limit to how much software can correct. If you are looking at the raw files without a correct profile setting, you will notice that there's actually a massive 5% bevel distortion in every picture. Some of that is corrected automatically in software, and it is possible to use some aftermarket software like GIMP or Photoshop for further corrections, but it is another time-consuming step and it may not work perfectly. Okay, so much about still photography, but what about video? Well, the lens is sharp enough for Full HD and 4K video, which is about 8 megapixels, so no problem here. Focus is fast and it is nearly silent, so you don't have to use an external microphone. That is another bonus point. The barrel distortion will always be there in video and it's very difficult to correct for that, but you may not notice it in moving objects. So overall it does quite well for video. Like always, when it comes to video, your standard kit lens or even your smartphone may just be good enough for you, and that is the biggest competition for that lens. In conclusion, the lens is an interesting compromise. It is geared towards being the smallest lens and not towards image performance, which is an interesting choice for a prime lens. Overall, I would give it 3 out of 5 for still images and 4 out of 5 for video. I will add some more images and video to this file so you can see how this lens performs in real life applications. Okay then, thanks for watching.